he has a purpose in it. So it's like been just so amazing to see how now I'm here. So I've been with Chad and Sam for 5 years now.
Isn't it crazy how
That
fast time goes? This is insane.
so from Miracle Lane to Bitternut Way to this position has been almost 6 years, 7 years. That's 2019 was the Miracle Lane house.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. So now I was handling God. Okay. So now we're in a place where I know the job, I know the position, I can do this very easily. So let's make this a little easier where I don't have to work like a maniac, you know?
Mm,
Now let's go into the next season of this. And he's like, okay, let's go.
nice. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good that you were able to like see that, you know? It is always hard when you're starting off. I was telling Mike, when you're building something, it takes a lot of work, but at some point, you are able, if you do it well, you are able to just take a step back and enjoy the fruit of your labor.
Although I will tell you, the other day I said to God, you'll have to remind me what the scripture is. I said, because somebody wanted me to do an open house. Now I'm mostly the list side. So I don't really represent a lot of buyers unless it's friends or family.
Hmm.
So I don't like to do open houses because then you get all the buyers and then you have to go show them stuff. So a lot of people in the office will take our listings and do the open houses. Well, my son
Okay.
wanted me to do it. And there's a car show in their neighborhood and it's from 11 to 2. So they wanted me to do the open house from 10 to 3. That's a 5-hour open house on a Saturday. And I'm like, and I said, God, what do you want me to do? Like, do you want me to try to find somebody or do you want me to do it? And I just opened my Bible and I turned to Proverbs. I don't know the scripture. And it says, hard work leads to prosperity, but person who believes in fantasies or something. I was like,
Okay.
oh my gosh. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm doing the open house. Hard work. Here we come.
That is so funny. Well, that's actually a perfect segue into us starting the episode because today we're going to be talking about visionary. And I'm so excited for people to get to meet you because you do have this faith and this expression of God
Mhm.
that is unique and exciting and fun. And I really am excited for everyone to get to know you. But before we dive into it, I usually have my guests introduce themselves because I think you can do a better job of it than I can. So just let everyone know anything you want them to know about you.
Welcome to the In Her Image podcast. I'm your host, Andrea John. This is season 4, Formed, Becoming Who God Made You to Be. In this season, I get to sit down with incredible women for honest, weekly conversations as we explore the character traits of the Proverbs 31 woman. Pull up a chair and join the conversation.
My name is Rachel Landon. I'm 45 years old, which is very hard for me to believe. January 16th is my birthday. And I say that because God uses my birthday often in prophetic things that he does for me. So I know it has meaning to him and to others. But I'm married. I've been married for 16 years. We have 5 children. I have 2. He has 2. We have 1 together, which they're all ours, but ranging from 35 to 12. And then we have 5 grandchildren. And I believe that God loves legacy. He loves generational, blessing, and that is very important to him. So to me, that's who I am.
Legacy is also a character trait that I have for the Proverbs 31 woman. So that's a conversation for another day. But I had reached out to lots of women to invite them to be on the podcast. And I gave the list of attributes that we have, character traits from the Proverbs 31 book. And you had brought up visionary. And I personally thought that was a great one for you.
Mhm.
But why did you pick that one?
Well, because I feel that God speaks to me through, well, I want to say this. When I came to your class, I don't remember if this was a class or an event or a woman's, but I got a purpose there. And to me, that has helped me so much in my life. The purpose that I felt God gave me in that event was to show people and show them through undeniable truths that he is real, because he gives me things, and throughout my life I've taken photographs of them. every time he shows me something, I take a picture, I take a picture, I take a picture. And then I'm able to tell the story through the picture because it's undeniable. You cannot deny it. And I'll show you even just one little thing that I have in my thing. This is a heart leaf that God gave me. I don't know if you can see it.
Yes, again.
But it is a heart and it has eyes on it. And I
Okay.
found this on the ground on a day that I asked God to show up. And God told me, I love you and I see you. And every day I look at this and it reminds me that God loves me and he sees me right where I am. He never leaves us nor forsakes us. He's right beside us. So I believe I chose visionary because it's through actual seeing that I'm able to show people you can't deny that.
Yeah.
So, and another thing God has shown me through that purpose is that's not only my purpose, that's his purpose for his people.
Yep.
So that is so beautiful. And what I see happens is when I share the vision with people, it starts happening to them. They'll start texting me, oh my gosh, I saw this or I saw that, or they'll start taking pictures and sending it to me. So I love that. I just think that, God loves to show up and show off, but we just have to believe that he can do it and that he will.
Yes.
And look for it.
By you sharing it with someone, because I remember at that retreat, it was a retreat, you had paired up with Anna, and even Anna was like, she can be skeptical sometimes, and even she was like, there's no way you can deny it.
Yes.
And I think that when you do testify of things like that, what happens is you open up people's sight.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You help them perceive. And even this morning when you called me, you made a comment and you said, God's in all of it, or God's in every moment. And as I was thinking about us chatting today about visionary, I go, that's exactly it. That's
Mm-hmm.
what vision is. It's perceiving God in every moment, because then you're aligned with him and you see bigger than yourself in a
Yeah.
way. So
Yes.
what does being a woman, a visionary, what does that mean to you? Like if you were to say, oh, this woman's a visionary or you're a visionary, what does that mean to you? How would you define it?
I don't really know how I would define it. I mean, I think for me, it's just looking ahead and I'm still learning. I'm still developing. I mean, I've been with the Lord a long time and I was talking with a friend last night because she was asking me, about her healing and why God hasn't healed her and things like that. And I just said, if I look back over my life, God gives us he's given me pieces, but he didn't tell me the whole thing.
Right.
So, when I would try to figure out the whole thing, I was almost 99% wrong. Like when I would try to go ahead of God
Yeah.
and tell him what I think he's doing, that wouldn't be what happened. So then I would be disappointed. And that's part of the reason that I think God is teaching me to live in the moment. I don't really know how I relate that to visionary. I have no idea. Like, I don't even know how I would define that. It's
It's,
just, go ahead.
I see, to me, it's because I was thinking about this, right? And being a visionary in the sense of, you're looking out and you have this vision for the future, let's say, right? I feel like that's a very typical way of seeing it. But bringing it in, I was thinking after you and I had such what was it, like 2 minute conversation, I think, this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And just that little bit got me thinking, and I'm like, well, you can't have that kind of vision if you don't have that, like what you were saying, that present vision of God is here in this moment, regardless of what's happening. He is with me and he loves me and he is precious and he is beautiful. And, when you can see that in every moment, your vision opens up and
Well,
then you can
we'll tell you
see him speak.
something. This is crazy. Okay. So 2 days ago, I saw this on Instagram. I don't know where I saw it, but basically it said that the mattress company had made up that you sleep through the night so that they could sell mattresses, that you're supposed to sleep 8 hours a night. And
Right.
that up so that people would buy their mattress and blah, blah, blah. The way God really intended it was that we sleep for 4 hours, and a lot of everything comes from the Lord, like between 1 and 3 a.m. People would get up and get insight and speak to the Lord and do things. And then they would go back to bed for 4 more hours. And I said, God, is that real? Is that true? And I'm not kidding you. I've been waking up at 3 a.m. And I said, it is interesting. I've been waking up at 3 a.m. So then, not last night, the night before, I wake up, I pick up my phone and it says 3, 2, 1. And God said, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Like, I said, what, like, what are we going to do? Are you going to show me something in heaven? Like, what are we, like, is it going to be good? Or am I just going to, and he's like, well, get up and see, like, come on. So he's like coaxing me. So I'm like, you know what? I've really been on a journey with the Lord, like he's just been blessing me in this season, like talking to me every day and telling me, you know, he's got me. It's his provision. He's going to take care of things. So I got up, I walk in the kitchen, and we have the big Alexa, and it says 3, 4, 5. So from 3:21 to 3:45, and he's like 3, 4, 5, let's go. So I can feel it. To me, that's the vision. Like, he gives me these little things, and he's shown me over and over that he's in the details. I am not kidding you. And I share it with people, and it happens. And so I sit down, I read the word, because I have one of those, me and Veronica have the same Bible where it's like the daily devotional. It's Old Testament, New Testament, Proverbs, and Psalms. Read through it. Can't even tell you what it was about, but basically I was just with the Lord, and I could feel his presence in there. And then I said, you know what? I love you, God, so much. Thank you for waking me up. Thank you for that time. I go back to bed, and I look at my clock on my phone right before I get in the bed, and it said 4:32. And he said, you're in the right frequency. And I just, so like, that is the stuff God does to me. And he lets me know he's right here. Like, there is no doubt and people will say, oh, that was just a coincidence. That was just a coincidence. No, that is not a coincidence. That is God. And that's how he shows up for me. And then when I tell other people about it, he starts to do it for them. And I mentioned earlier my birthday. So, God will use my birthday. Like, I'll check out at a store, and the total will be 116. And one time I went to the store, and it was 116.81. And I said, are you asking for my ID? He goes, no, that's your total.
That's your total.
And my birthday is 116.81.
Yeah.
So I go to dinner with my friends, and I had been sharing like what God's been doing in my life. My sister, my friend, and my husband were with me. We went to dinner the other night. We're getting the food. My sister paid her own bill. My friend had bought me a ticket. We went to the Phil Collins, I don't know what it was. It wasn't really him. It was some other guy.
Oh, okay.
So she bought my ticket, and I said, you know what? I'll get your meal. So the lady brings out the check, and it's 116. I mean, you can't make it up. I'm like, and I'm blown away. I'm telling everybody, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, look at this. All the food we ordered, it had to be, I didn't pick the food.
Right. Yeah.
Food. So
it's not like you're trying to add up the numbers and make it, you know.
And it's just the way he does things. And he just lets me know I'm right here. And when you feel that on a daily basis, it gives you the ability to just love on people, to kind of relax.
Yes.
And be in the moment. And if something goes wrong, like, I literally had a contract the other day, the buyer did not show up to closing. 60-day contract.
No.
I'm not kidding. 60-day contract. We gave her a week extension. I wasn't representing the buyer, but she didn't show up. And the agent called me crying, and she's just like, Rachel, I don't even know what to do. This is my money. I've been counting on this. I don't know where she's at. I don't know what happened. And I literally just sat down, wrote in my Bible. I said, Lord, I don't know what's going on, but I know you do. And I know you orchestrate it all. So I am asking you to intervene. Literally within an hour, my seller called and said, hey, is it money? I'll pay for it, you know? And we brought it back together. But it was just like, the Lord, you can let those things overtake you, or you can look at God and who he is and what he can do. And I'm not saying everything works out for us. I'm just saying,
you know that.
yes, I'm just saying that he is a good father. I don't know what happened to our thing, but he does take care of his kids. And I just want people to know, if you look for God, you will find him. He says, if you seek me, you will find me. And if
Yeah.
you seek me with all your heart, I mean, he's there. He is good.
Yes, and that's what's beautiful about, when I look at someone like you and these things, right? Like you said, some people are like, "Oh, it's coincidence," but it's not. It's because God knows you're looking for him in those things, and like you said, when you seek, you will find. And he loves us all so much. And with you, in your relationship with him, he knows, like, oh, I know Rachel's going to be paying attention. So
Mhm.
this is how I'm going to speak to her because this is how she receives it. Like for me, while I have situations like you have, for me, God speaks a lot to me in nature.
Mhm.
So there's times where, like, I'll see an eagle out of nowhere. And it's kind of like in that moment, I had been praying something that eagle has everything to do what I had been praying about. One
Yes.
time I came out of, it's not here. I actually have it in my other off. Oh no, it is right here. Oh, this is perfect that this is here because I just brought this in here. Let me make sure that because I can't see my screen. Okay. So I was going to this physical therapy place it was for my shoulder. So I have rips in my shoulder and I had been going 3 days a week for months because I wound up doing six months and we were going through a really hard time. It was 2021, so COVID was still kind of a thing. But personally, I had like all this stuff going on and I'd been praying and working on my first book and I was having such a bad experience with that too. And I get to my car and it was like where my car was parked was along a curb. So like the driver's side door was along a curb and
Mhm.
then there was grass. So it's not like someone then dropped something coming out of their car. I
Right.
had just left there, and I get to my car and I see this bookmark
Wow.
and it had an eagle and God had been talking to me through eagles and it says they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength, they shall mount up with wings as eagles, they shall run and not grow weary and they shall walk and not faint. And the reason this was so massive for me was because I had been praying Psalm 91 every single day because I was going through the most difficult time and I knew that I just needed to be in his presence all the time. And I saw myself like I'm under his wings. He is protecting me. Every once in a while, I would imagine myself like I'm looking out the wings to see like, is it safe now? Can I come out? And so when I saw this on the floor, I like instinctively, I looked up and I said, I hear you. I hear
Yes.
you. Because I wanted him to know, like, I see you, I hear you, I know it's you speaking. Such a
Right.
simple gesture. And
Circumstance may not change in that moment, but your God is still the same God.
yes, and your faith grows because when I had my encounter with God, my circumstances didn't change, but everything changed because everything inside me changed. I saw him, I knew him. And I think what the biggest thing that changed was me knowing that he loved me and he was with me. For
Mhm.
some reason, that changes everything. It changes your whole outlook in life. And you are able to dream more,
Yeah.
right? To expect more. But I love what you said because you had said like it allows you to be present in the moment.
Mhm.
And even though there may be a situation like the closing that you were talking about where the buyers didn't show up, like it's not that it's not stressful,
Right.
but you just trust that God is in it.
Mm.
And somehow, some way, what is the best thing to happen is
R-
gonna happen.
Right. Because you are his.
Yeah.
That is inheritance. That is, what God promises his kids is that he loves us and he takes care of us and he'll never leave. So if we truly believe that, if we truly think that is who he is, then we have to believe that in those moments. And it's
Right.
so good. And I wanted to bring this up to my friend who is asking God for some healing and hasn't gotten it yet. I sent her that mattress thing.
Okay.
He texted me back and said, "Girl, if my sleep gets interrupted, I am not a good person." And so she was already saying no.
Mm-hmm.
So yesterday I went to pick her up to take her somewhere, and I told her the story about the 3-2-1, the 3-4-5, and she just starts laughing. She goes, "Rachel, you must not have read my messages I sent you." And I'm like, "No, what did you say?" And she's like, "Let me read it." So she pulls it up and she's like, "God woke me up this morning at 3:45 a.m. And I said to him, "You can't be serious. Like, are we getting up?" Like, Rach, because she knew, like, I had sent her that and we talked about it. And then she's like, "If I pick up my phone, I'm going to be wide awake. Then I'm going to have a bad day." Like, she's talking to God about, like, this isn't going to work and blah, blah, blah. And she goes, "If this is really you, like, make it clear that this is really you and I'll get up." And she said, "I heard Samuel." She did not remember the story of Samuel. She goes, it meant nothing to me.
Yeah.
She goes, I was like, "Samuel? Okay, Samuel what?" And she said, "I closed my eyes and I saw a 3 and a 5. And she's like, "Okay." So she pulls it up and it's the part where Eli tells him,
That's crazy.
"I am not kidding." And she's like, "No freaking way." And so she goes, "I read the whole chapter." And she goes, "It gets kind of dark." So I was kind of like, "Okay." And she's like, "God, what are you saying? Like, what are you saying?" And he said, "You hear my voice." Like, that's what I'm saying. You do hear me. You
Mm-hmm.
are, I guess she felt like, I know God is here, but I'm asking him for the specific thing and he's not doing it. So if he's here, why is that not happening? And I can't give her the answer to that. And she doesn't get the answer to that at this moment. But I think what he's showing her is you do hear my voice. And as you recognize that and know that, I am going to meet you in that. And I just told her, keep pursuing it. Just keep pursuing it. He is going to, I mean, that God didn't tell me Samuel when he woke me up. He didn't give me a 3 and a 5. He told me 3-2-1. Like, you know what I'm saying? That is so fun. And if you can transition that into everybody, like, to other people, because
Mm-hmm.
it happened to me. I shared it with her. It happened to her. Like, what a beautiful thing. Like, that's so awesome. And if you can, I don't know if that's visionary, but to me, if you can share that and show people that God does hear, he does answer, he does want to move. You just have to open yourself up to that and
Yep.
ask.
I do see it as visionary, and I'll tell you why. Because it's how you communicate with God and how God communicates with you, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
how you relate to each other. And like you said, and I just said, we're praying about things, we're asking God questions, we don't always have everything right up front, but then he sends these little messages that we're receiving because we're perceiving him in these ways. And it gives us confirmation sometimes of things that we are looking to do in life. Like last year, I remember when we all did the vision board together and you shared all of your vision boards over the years and you testified to all the things that happened, right? I think those are all
Well,
visions that God gives us
yeah, I mean, and I can show you, like, even, I don't know that you can see it, but like this, oh, you can't see it because it's
because
me.
you got the blur. Yeah.
But I mean, to me, God was in my life so much. I mean, and he just kept showing me things. Like, I have an entire favorites folder of
Hmm.
all the things that God has shown me. And in those moments, it wasn't the full answer, but it was an answer to get me to the next moment.
Yes.
Like, it was an answer enough that I was not hopeless. And when people say to me, I'm gonna tell you, people say hope is not an answer. Is that what they say?
I don't know.
I hear this a lot, and it bothers me every time I hear somebody say it. Hope is not an answer, or hope is not a plan. Hope is not a plan.
Okay. Uh-huh.
That bothers me because hope is a plan. God gives me hope that he's with me. So to me, I feel like sometimes I struggle with when we operate on a level that is kingdom focused and everybody else is operating, or a lot of other people are operating on, the world's way. It's like God isn't I'm following something, because when I look back over my life, sometimes I'm like, people looked at me like I was flipping nuts. Like, what are you doing? Why would you do that? Why would you? But God was speaking. He was saying something in that time, and I was following it because he's my father.
Yeah.
I can't necessarily explain why or what he was doing, but all I know is he brought me to another place where he was there again, there again, there again. Even though to other people, they might look at it and go, "It don't look like a place I would want to go." And I would argue with God about that. Like, people are going to look at this and go, "What the heck? Why would I follow her, God? Look at, she doesn't here to here to here to here." But now, I guess now I'm in a place where I can look back and see God was teaching me in that, and he brought me to an even better place every time.
Yeah.
So there is purpose in it, but you have to be able to see God in
Mm-hmm.
it and
Yes.
know that he's there and not think you're crazy in the process. That's where the undeniable part comes in.
And I think it goes back to your point. Is it filling you with hope or is it filling you with hopelessness? Because, I do see what people say about, hope isn't a plan, but to have a plan without hope is also doomed for failure.
Right.
Because when you don't have hope, you have, it's I think it's Hebrews 12 where it talks about how we have cloud of witnesses and we're running our race, and how Jesus was able to bear the cross because he had his eyes set on the joy set before him, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's what hope is. When you don't have the joy set before you,
Mm-hmm.
you have the likelihood you are going to fail or not experience the fullness of what God has for you is increased,
Right.
because you have to have that joy and that hope in front of you, because that's what's going to keep you going, because sometimes there are obstacles, things get hard, but when you have that hope, it's going to be that it's going to be the driving force. It's going to keep you going.
Well, and I think a lot of Christians, and I don't know this to be a fact, but this is kind of what I see, is that they love God, they read their word maybe occasionally, but they don't have the daily vision from him or the daily things. Like, they're afraid that that might not. And my friend, she said, "Is this just me talking to myself?"
Yes.
Was like questioning that. But when God gave her the word and the scripture, the chapter and the book, like, that is where it shifts. And that is where, and I'm not saying God speaks in every moment. Like, sometimes I'll ask him for something and he doesn't give it to me right then.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting on the answer. Like, when I couldn't find something the other day, I'm like, "Lord, just show me where it's at." Like, we got to order another one on Amazon. I know it's here. Where is it? Like, sometimes he'll show me something in my head. Like, he'll show me the laundry room with clothes on the thing, and I'll go in there and move the clothes, and it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes he doesn't give it to me right away. So I'm like, "Why are you not showing me this?" Like, so I think sometimes people get caught up in, like, "Oh, you're too spiritual. That's too
Mm-hmm.
spiritual." Like, just run your race and do the things you're supposed to do, and you don't need all that crazy. But I love the crazy.
But that's the thing. It's kind of like I said, God speaks to me through different things that's different from you. I don't see, like, I know you see license plates and all sort, like the numbers thing, like I have other friends who are like that too. I don't see that. I see in other ways, but to discourage someone from experiencing that, or it's kind of like, but that's your relationship with God. Why would I want to discourage that? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's
I
it's
think some
how
people
you relate with God.
I think it scares some people. They don't they're like, "You're too much." Like, I don't know. Some people are not as crazy. Or not crazy. It's personality differences,
Yes.
or the
Uh-huh.
way they were raised, or things that they didn't grow up in a spirit. Like, I had a lot of Pentecostal women in my life that you declare it and decree it, and it is so. Like, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
one lady, I love her, God, Jaretta Creatura, love her. She laid hands on my stomach and said, "In the name of Jesus, water break." I was going to be induced the next morning. Girl, I thought I peed my pants. I was like, I just peed. She's like, no, ma'am.
Your water broke.
Yes. I mean, just people like that in my life who I witnessed doing more miracles and calling on the Lord, and he answered.
Right.
So, like, that is the life that I love. And that is what I love to share with people and help them to see. I do think I scare people sometimes, though. I do think, like, I start showing them stuff and they're like,
I know, but it's one of those, like, it's a fire starter. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, that definitely is your thing. So I was going to ask, and I couldn't tell by, because I was like, well, she's kind of answering, but I couldn't tell by your answers. Have you always been like this in terms of like seeing God in this way, or did something happen where you started noticing and it just grew from there?
I would say a long time it's been this way. Like, I just believed God was there, and I would, yes, it's been at least 25 years. Like, I remember one time I was doing a Mother's Day tea party with a friend. I was co-hosting with her. We had no teapots, none. So I was going to every Goodwill to find teapots and teacups.
Okay.
Wanted them for every table, and we had 10 tables. That is hard to find. Like, and she wanted them to match, and she just gave me the job, and I'm just like, Lord, deliver. Like, you're going to show me where. So I have my kids in the car. I'm driving, and I'll never forget this day. The car in front of me said teapot on the license plate.
See, like, come on.
I'm not kidding. I said, God, am I following these people? Like, what am I doing? So I did. I started following them, and then I'm like, this is getting nuts. Like, now I'm like, and then God said, no, I don't want you to follow them. I just want you to know I got your teapots.
Yeah.
Like, if I can put a cart in front of you that says teapot while you're asking me for teapots, I can get you the teapots. Because I was getting stressed because I only had like 3 or 4. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this is like in a week and I need 10. And, God delivered. But it's stuff like that. And that was probably, God, that had to be 25 years ago, 20 years ago. I don't know. I'm 45.
Yeah.
So yes, he is always. I mean, I remember one time I was praying for my ex-husband. We had some things, and we had live, laugh, love over our door.
Mm-hmm.
And he got mad and slammed the door and went out. And he was just so angry, and he came back in, and then he's like apologizing. And I'm like, what happened? But I was praying in the spirit. I was praying. I was believing God's going to fix the situation. I don't have to do anything but pray. And the next morning I got up, he went to work the next morning. I got up, walked in my kitchen, and we had the big love thing was laying on the counter. And
Okay.
God showed me an image when he slammed that door, the love fell off the top of the thing and hit him in the head. And because when he came back in, he wasn't just saying he was sorry. He had a headache. He never told me, like, I have a splitting headache. I just want to tell you, I'm so sorry. Like, it was like this complete shift.
Mm-hmm.
God showed me that. And I called him. I said, oh my gosh, did the love plaque hit you in the head last night? And he's like, yes. So it was like, and now I'm not saying, I mean, I told God I probably would have done a little more, but
You didn't do quite enough, but okay.
but God just always showed up for me like that. In my life, he has always shown up, shown off, done miraculous things. So yes, I would say most of my life, yes.
That's pretty awesome. So to finish off, give the ladies one piece of practical advice that they can take with them, like something easy, practical that they can use to become more visionary or to maybe experience or see God in the way that you do.
So one of the things that I love to do is document it because we forget. And God, you have to have a place that you can reference it and bring it back because God loves worship. He loves a grateful heart. He loves for us to be thankful. And because he is doing these things, like he's doing it and he's letting you know. So get a time that you're spending with the Lord. Like I have my little prayer and me and Veronica added up. I've given away 18 of those Bibles. She's given away 18 of those. Like we're right neck and neck. But to read your Bible, it's Old Testament, New Testament. It has a little place to write on the side. I just write to the Lord. He writes back to me. Start asking him to show up. And as he does it, document it. And then like I'll take a day, maybe I'm just not doing something for the day, and I will pull out my Bible. I have one that I've been writing in for 5 years, and I will look through it, and God will remind me of where he was, what he did. And it helps you to know you're not alone. Like, he is there. And although things back then looked crazy, now I can go back and say, oh, this is what he did. This is what he was doing. This
You
is
now understand.
yes. And if he would have told me back then, I wouldn't be where I am now.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he would have told me I'm going to do this, I would have been like, well, let's skip all of that. Let's forget that. If this is where we end up. But what you realize, and through it, God has shown me you would not be as appreciative.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants us to be grateful. You would have just been like, oh, God can do it. You have to be a part of it. He wants to co-create.
Yes.
He wants us to, make it happen with him. And he gets excited too. Honestly, that's one of the things. So I recently, and I want to share this, I had, God had been asking me to be obedient in something, and things were not working in my life. Like, it was just like, he's there. Yes. He's talking to me. Yes. But I still felt this complete blockage.
Okay.
And finally, he made it perfectly clear, and this would be another podcast, that obedience is what was keeping me from it. And I surrendered completely. And he gave me a prophetic word. He gave me through my son-in-law. So it was undeniable. and he had a really hard time giving it to me. And he, so he made it so clear that this is what was keeping me from it. And he was so loving and so patient. He said, Rachel, I've asked you for years about this situation. At this point, right from wrong. If you continue to be disobedient, I am going to remove my covering from you. Like, basically, he said, I'm removing. I've protected you all this time. I'm removing it. And the fear of the Lord came over me. I was sick. I was like, whoa. So I completely surrendered for 6 months, complete surrender, great situation. And then God told me some other things started to happen, and I can share this another day. I don't mind, but he gave me so many blessings in this one day. And all of a sudden I had that thing that I had given up came back with a vengeance. Like, I had this, like, oh my gosh, I'm having and I asked him, what do you want me to do? And he made it very clear through a song. God speaks to me through songs. Like, I'll ask Alexa to play something and speak to me through it. And I have so many evidences of that. But in that moment, I asked him to play something. And he said, if you do it, we will both be sorry. Like, I'll share it with you.
I just got chills.
That is what the lyrics of the song said. 5 years ago, it's been 5 years. You've been successful. Don't forget, it's me who gave it to you, and it's me who can take it away. I mean, It was so, like, he wrote the song for me that many years ago.
Yeah.
Said, if you do it, we will both be sorry.
Wow.
And, like, wow. Like, he's just so good. I'm telling you. And even in those moments, and I asked him, why did that happen? And he's like, why was I doing so good? And you blessed me in that day. And that came out of nowhere. And he said, the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And if he can take what I'm giving you away, girl, he's going to take it. Like, he doesn't to have that.
Yep.
So, just to know he walks with us, he talks with us, and he wants to help us. That's the beauty of Jesus. So I would say, and the other thing is having friends.
That was going to be one, but I was like, we don't have, I feel like you and I, we could be here for hours, right? That's one thing I was going to ask is, do you think it's important to have a community around you that also has vision?
I would not be who I am without Veronica is a very good friend of mine. I have my mom, you. I mean, I share these things, not sharing and helping each other, lifting each other up. At one point, God told me you can have some codependency in that too, and you got to be careful,
right?
Because you don't want to replace God with them. However, it is through community that we
Yeah.
there's accountability. You got to have accountability. If you don't have accountability, it's very easy. The enemy came in like that.
Yep.
Tempted. I was like, whoa. And then I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I'm telling God, like, well, maybe this is from you. And he's like, no, man.
That's crazy. I mean, I definitely agree. I think one of the things that I so love about friends like you and Veronica and Sandra and like all Shanna and all these people, these women that, over the years we've kind of walked together, some closer than others. One of the things I absolutely love, and what's funny, I was gonna wear that shirt and I didn't. It's my women empowering women shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot I wanted to wear it today. But it's so refreshing to be surrounded by women who champion each other.
Mm-hmm.
No one's competing, no one's trying to be better than, no one's trying to outshine anybody. Like, we all cheer each other on with what we have going on in life, and we sincerely desire that everyone achieves what they're trying to achieve.
Right.
And I think that that's so special. And I'm so blessed because growing up, I did not have the best experience with like female friends. And, to be at my age, like I'm going to be 45 in July too, because I'm an 81 baby too. To be at this age and finally be in a place where I could be like, wow, I am surrounded by some really amazing women who champion each other, help each other. We don't all agree on everything, but we love each other so much. To me,
Well,
that's critical.
I do want to say another thing God has shown me is I don't even know. My friend Jessica, she got me watching NDEs.
Oh,
And I'm not kidding you. You want to rock your own world. Like God is just that has helped me too to understand that
me
this
too.
so little. Like we are in this little bitty earth, and there is God is about community. When we get to
Yep.
heaven, there is so much to that. And
Yes.
the fact that when you get there, every life you poured into, every one of us is connected. So, and I've listened to people say that God showed them how much they missed in not connecting with people, how much, how people had been praying for them or trying to connect with them, and they had a connection with the Lord and they just thought they're weird or they're this or they're that. And the reality is when we get to heaven, it is amazing.
Yes.
There is so much. It's so big. We could go on another topic with that, but that's helped me to not focus on the little silly things.
I agree. Listen, I am into NDEs and I've watched that's near death experience if
Yes.
someone doesn't know. And I've read years ago, I read a book of a woman who was she whitewater rafting? She was in a canoe on whitewater and she almost died. She was like, it turned over. She was stuck in there. So she talked about her story. And that got me into NDE stories because what she explained, what she expressed, she saw and heard was so in line with my experience when God met me in my kitchen.
Yeah.
It was like what she was saying. I'm like, yes, that was God. And I'm like, that's one thing that I notice with NDEs is these stories are more similar than they are different.
That's right.
And I'm at the point now where I can tell if someone had a legit
Yes.
experience or just like,
And I'm not saying there's not demonic ones because there is an enemy and he likes to pretend to be like Jesus.
yes,
The ones that I mean, I'm telling you, they come back and they are used by the Lord. This one man, he said, I would love to share the one that I've watched probably 20 of them, but this one guy, he came back and the Lord told him God usually gives them a caveat. Like you have to do something. I'm
hmm
back. There's a purpose.
yes, there's a purpose to go back.
And this guy, he said, when I tell you to do something, I want you to listen. You have to go. Like, I'm going to use you to minister to people. And he said he was on his way home from work one night and the Lord said, I want you to go by the dollar store. And he's like, God, I'm already past the dollar store. I'm going home. Like, I'm so tired. I'm going home. He said he got home, got his pajamas on, got in his bed, and the next thing he knows, his bed is earthquake shaking. And God said, get up now.
Mm.
He's like, oh, yes, sir. Got up, got dressed, because he knew the Lord don't play. Like he went
Yep.
and he experienced, and he had undeniable things that he was there. And so he told him, he's like, I want you to get $20. The person's not going to be in the front of the building. They're going to be in the back. Go around to the back and I'll tell you what to do. So he's like, I'm rushing because God, I feel God's pushing me.
Mm-hmm.
It's there. He goes to the back. The Lord tells him the guy's name. I don't remember the name. I'm just going to say Jordan and he says, Jordan. And the guy sticks his head out of his tent and he's like, yeah. He goes, the Lord woke me up out of my bed and sent me here to talk to you. Come here. And over there. And he's like, you gotta be kidding me. He's like, no, I'm not kidding you. The Lord loves you. He wants you. He desires you. He has a plan for you. Like he just began to prophesy to him. And the guy starts bawling, crying. He pulls up his shirt and shows him a gun. And he says, I was 2 minutes away from pulling the trigger.
Wow.
Said, I told the Lord, if you love me and you care for me, I need you to show me that you're real right now, or I'm doing it. And the guy said, can I have the bullet? He goes, that's my new testimony.
That's awesome.
I need to carry that around because I'm telling you, I told God no. I went home, I went to bed, and he shook my bed like an earthquake.
Like, that's how much God loves. Like, just think about that.
Yes.
Like, one of my testimonies is I had one to my head and the trigger was pulled and nothing happened. And then the gun went up, trigger was pulled, bullet came out.
Wow.
And just the other day, I heard a story about this kid got arrested because he went they went into this bus and they came in with a gun and they went to go shoot this kid. It was like a 15-year-old kid. The guy pulled the trigger 5 times and it got stuck.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm just like, see, it's those things like you can't tell me God doesn't exist.
No. And that's the thing. It's like that's one situation, one story. And I feel like as we share, as we all start to experience these things. Another thing I want to say, you and Mike, when I came to the Jesus House thing, y'all had at your house in that bottom part, that meditation, whatever we went through, that changed my life too. That was before NDEs.
Yep.
I am still, if you guys ever do that I think that you should do that. Like put that out there so people can listen to that because
it is on YouTube.
You need to send it to me because I used to after that, I desired that so much because I really had an encounter with the Lord in that. Like I felt like because we were in a room with lots of people, we all were in it together.
Yep.
So like I could see the other people, they could see me. I mean, Veronica saw her father with his dog and like it was just so incredible. So when after I left that, I somehow took because I had recorded it on my phone, but you could hear everybody. So it would interrupt me. But I tried to like hear through that. And I laid on my couch and went through that meditation again. And I'm telling you, the Lord met me. He came to my living room and we went on an adventure together. And the funny thing in that one, Jesus came into my house and my dog gave him a hug. My dog, and he was like, whoa, like, hey, Arrow. Like he was talking to my dog and he's like, hey, Arrow. And so when I lived in the Lakeview house, planes used to fly over my house all the time because it's right by the Craig Airfield. And I used to say, who are those people? Like those planes are expensive. They're going somewhere. And it would be like plane. I'm like, I want to do that. I want to go somewhere. And that year, God put me in a plane like 5 times. Like everybody asked me, hey, will you go with me here? Will you go with me here? But in that meditation, Jesus picked me up in a plane.
Oh, wow.
He knew what that meant to me. And he came to like when I was imagining the little thing, he pulled up in a plane and picked me up. And I was like,
that's what I'm saying. Like God meets you, like he knows you, right? And he speaks to you in your language. When I encounter Jesus now and like I take my time to meet with him, we're either sitting on a log over a river or we're swimming or we're, like to me, it's I'm out in nature.
Right.
Like that's how I relate to him. I do have that on YouTube, so I'll definitely share it with you. But the next retreat, and I have a meeting in a little bit, but the next retreat that we're gonna do in November, I fine-tuned the purpose message. So I have a
Yeah.
little bit more meat to it. So I'm definitely going to do that. And one of the things I was thinking of doing was to take people through. I'm not as good as it with it as Mike is, but
Yeah.
I was planning on
Well, even if it's a
taking the
recording,
time.
me,
Yeah.
it's something you can take with you that literally, like, I love the part where you get to the cross and you hold out your hands and look and see what's in it.
Yeah.
Every time it was something different.
Yeah, me too. Same thing with me.
Every time it was something different. And to me, God uses that. He uses the visual part of it to bring something to you, to tell you what he wants to work on in that moment. Because you can't
Yeah.
at all. But
Yeah.
I remember it. I remember looking at my hands, and like one time there was a stack of books because I used to love books, and God, that's what it was pertaining to in that moment. One time there was like, I saw his nail and I saw blood. But I can tell you those help people to be visionary, because
Okay.
if you're able to get yourself to a place where God is, he does move in that. And,
Yep.
and to be able to take it home and use it, to be able to go home and get alone and just spend time with the Lord and let him come to you. It's so good.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's something that I mean, now I'm in different circles, so it's a little bit different, but imagination is something that people have historically, Christians historically have seen as a negative.
Mm,
And the reality is that we do have spiritual eyes, and I see being human as a superpower
yeah.
because we have access to all the realms. Like, think
Yeah.
about angels and, all spirit beings, like, they're not human, so they can't do what we can do.
Right.
We can do it because we have a body. Well, we get to access where they are and here on earth. So to me, it's such like it's a superpower. And when you can really tap into that and talk to God and then be an extension of who he is here on earth, right? That if we all were to live that way, I feel like the world would be a
I think
much better place.
they just need help, because we're so overwhelmed and trying to do it in our own power and understanding. We have, the things of this world can weigh you down, but when you're able to lay it with God and know that he's there, you have to be able to know. And once you know, and he will make it clear, he
Yep.
will absolutely show you that he is right beside you, and you have to walk in that. And then it's so beautiful.
Yes, so beautiful. Rachel, thank you so much
Thank you.
for taking the time to chat with us. I'll definitely have you back on.
Okay.
I don't even know who I have for legacy. Let's see who I have if somebody volunteered. If not, I'm volunteering you. Hold on.
Okay.
So, guess I'm gonna have you on for legacy. It's later
So
on.
if we do legacy, I definitely have a story for legacy. God,
Okay.
oh man, and I have the pictures to go with it. He
Yes.
rocked me. And that will go back into the obedience, and how for 7 years he's asked me to be obedient on something that I just kept bucking him. I'm like, that ain't a big deal. Come on. Come on.
You
It,
don't know what you're talking about.
talking about, I didn't tell him that. I just said, you like the liquid offerings. You like, I mean, I just kept, but God is so patient, so loving, so kind. And, for me, I'm not saying this is something for everybody. I'm saying for me, this is a place that God had spoken to me, and it was all pertaining to my legacy. And it is all pertaining to my legacy, my children, and generational blessings. So I would be excited to share that.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. I feel like, I mean, I don't know the story, but talking to you is always fun.
Oh, well, thank
So, well, thank you so much, Rachel.
you. All right. Y'all have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Lady, thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. Before you go, I want to share something with you. Our stats show that most of you come back and listen every week, which is incredible and humbling and truly means so much. But most of our listeners actually aren't subscribed. If you'd like to help increase the reach of In Her Image, one of the simplest ways you can do that is by subscribing to the podcast. Subscribing helps the platform know this content matters and allows these conversations to reach more women who need them. You can also help by sharing an episode with a friend, letting them know that, hey, I listened to this and it was a blessing to me, and I think it can bless you too. Or you can leave a review. You can like, you can comment. All of these small actions make such a big difference. I want to thank you for being here and for being part of this and helping us grow. Until next time, keep becoming who God made you to be.